Man, I have been waiting at this door all day, and I'm surprised that nobody's even come over to let me in. Wait, why does that keep happening every time I say that? We finally made it in, and for those of y'all that know what happened, what's up, my guys, and welcome back to the Wrestling Report Card. I'm your host, Cody, and as y'all know, Extreme Rules went down tonight. And for those of y'all that don't know, like my roommates who left me out in the freezing cold all night, but I can't be too mad at them because they finally let me in. Are you serious? What in the world? I must have forgotten to pay the light bill. Yeah, that's what that is. Anyways, what were we talking about? Extreme Rules. That's right. Extreme Rules went down tonight, and I tell you what, not only did we have a huge, and I mean huge, return, but we had 6 fire matches on the night. We started with a banger of a trios match, and then we moved into both the women's titles, as you had Liv Morgan defending the SmackDown title against Ronda Rousey in an Extreme Rules match, and then, for the first time ever, a women's championship will be defended in a ladder match as Bianca Belair put that Raw title on the line against Bayley. And then our main event, you got Rollins, you got Riddle inside the fight pit, you got Daniel Cormier as the guest referee. It's a banger, and at the end of the pay-per-view when the lights go out, we get the huge return. Who is it? Well, you're going to have to stay tuned, or just probably fast forward to like the 10th minute or whatever. I don't care. Either way. With all that being said, I'm out of breath. Without further ado, go on and buckle up your seatbelts, and let's get to grading. For our opening match, we got some trios action, as you've got Imperium taking on the Brawling Brutes in a good old-fashioned Donnybrook match. For those of us that don't know what that is, which is including myself, that is a match with no rules, and there's no tags, just 3-on-3 with a collection of weapons all outside the ring. Now, before Imperium could even make it to the ring, we get our first interruption from the mysterious White Rabbit. But onto the match we go, and I tell you what, this son bitch was insane. At 2 separate points, I honest to God thought we witnessed Imperium in Sheamus and Ridge's life, which left just Butch in the ring, who was getting decimated until out of nowhere, Sheamus returned from the dead. Once he took care of the rest of Imperium, we get down to Sheamus going against Gunther, and I don't know how these two went at this pace after the banger of a match that they had last night. Sheamus continued on his roll as he hit Gunther with the white noise, followed by the bro kick, but he got broken up at the last possible second. Sheamus goes on to apply the cloverleaf on Gunther, but before Gunther tapped, Kaiser appeared out of nowhere and cracked a shillelagh over the Irishman's back so hard that a piece of it hit the cameraman. After Butch wiped everyone out with a beautiful moonsault outside of the ring, Gunther found an even bigger shillelagh, cracked Sheamus again with it, but somehow the Irishman kicked out. He then got his payback as he landed a nasty shot with that same shillelagh and then hit Gunther with the Celtic Kross through the announce table before landing the bro kick on the Vinci and finally getting the 1, 2, 3. For the second time tonight, I am tired and out of breath. That's getting an A. Triple H is cooking, my guy. And that was a great win for Sheamus as he continues to put on banger after banger after banger after banger. We move backstage where The Miz has a stage running with the Flyers mascot. That's right, Gritty. And one can't help but think that Dexter Loomis is the one that's underneath that sumbitch. Back to the ring, we got Liv Morgan defending the SmackDown Women's Championship against Ronda Rousey in an Extreme Rules match. Before any weapons got introduced, we saw Ronda Rousey slap Liv so hard that it made Chris Rock shiver. I tell you what, we didn't move to the fun stuff as we saw Liv use a fire extinguisher as a weapon. Plus we saw a baseball bat, belt, steel chair, and the champ even hit Ronda with a sit-on through the table, but it wasn't enough to keep Rousey down. Rousey got up and went to work on the submission game, and the third one was the charm, as Liv was unresponsive, and Ronda chokes her out to become the brand new 2-time SmackDown Women's Champion. I'm gonna give that a C+. I wasn't a big fan of that finish. However, the fact that Ronda Rousey won, I am here for that. Now, I know some of y'all are gonna tell me how dumb I am for being happy that Liv Morgan lost, but this version of Ronda Rousey under Triple H is gonna be way more entertaining than Liv Morgan's entire run. I'm sorry to say it, but it's true. We still gotta move on though, so get out your feelings. Next up, you got the strap match. It's Drew McIntyre taking on Karrion Kross in a match where both guys are bound together by a 13-foot leather strap that's tied around their wrist. This not only prevents either man from running, but that sumbitch can be used as a weapon as well. Apparently, nobody told Karrion Kross the rules to this as he blindsided Drew before he even put the strap on. I walked right into that one. So Drew McIntyre responded to this as any sane person would by literally trying to break Kross's back before throwing him back in the ring, and he put the strap onto Kross himself, officially starting the match. Drew's run was short, however, as Scarlett made herself known ringside, allowing Kross to get the upper hand and go to work on Drew's injured shoulder. He sent him into the ring post and the announce table before just teeing off on him with that strap. And I mean, he went to town, my guy. Kross followed that up by suplexing McIntyre's lifeless body, but somehow Drew was still able to kick out. Kross then gets back to using the strap, but all it did was piss off the Scotsman, who stared him in the face after each hit before he just started going nuts. We then get into one of my favorite spots of all time, as both guys were just trading shots on each other with the leather strap. Drew got the upper hand, but when he went to set Kross up for the Claymore, Scarlett not only interfered, that Jezebel pepper sprayed Drew McIntyre, which allowed Kross to hit the crosshammer and gave him the 1, 2, 3. That Scarlett was spraying that pepper spray like she thought she was Brandon Cutler. I tell you what, I'm gonna give that a B+. That was a physical match, and I'm not mad at Kross getting the win while we protect Drew in the loss. I'm all here for it. We then go backstage again to The Miz, who has his second weird running of the night with Gritty. But once again, no time to ponder, because next up, for the first time ever, the Raw Women's title is on the line in a ladder match. We got Bianca defending against Bayley, and Bayley is competing in her first one-on-one pay-per-view match since returning from her injury, and Bayley wasted no time introducing the ladders, and Bianca wasted no time climbing them. When that wasn't working, I guess Bianca thought, okay, I'll just suplex Bayley into a ladder, and followed up with a moonsault before she can move off of it, and it worked. After some physical back and forth action between these ladies, Bayley tried to cheat and expose her knee brace, but Bianca answered with the KOD, climbed the ladder. However, right as she reached the top step, fingertips away from retaining, Damage Control interfered, well, momentarily, because Bianca did the unthinkable as she picked both Kai and Sky up and KO'd them both at the same damn time. However, this distraction was enough to allow Bayley regroup, and she introduced the champ to multiple ladders around the ring before trapping her underneath the 20-foot ladder that she used to climb to get the title. But then Belair grabbed that ladder from underneath, bench pressed that sumbitch off of her, sending Bayley flying into the ropes. With both ladies laid out and furniture everywhere, the scene of the ring looked like a cyclone just came through Philly. Both ladies then get to the middle ladder, they start climbing, boom, down goes Bianca. Have no worries, cause she knocked Bayley off by whipping her with her long braid. Bayley goes to grab a ladder, and with that ladder in hand, Bianca picked her up, hit her with the KOD on top of the ladder she was holding, and she overcomes all three members of Damage Control as she climbs the ladder and grabs that title and retains that bitch. I'm not alone in thinking that this match is in consideration for match of the night. I'm giving it an A-. And okay, can we just take a moment and talk about the strength that Bianca Belair possesses? That woman is insane. I mean, she is surpassing stuff that John Cena used to do with flying colors. However, we're only going to take a moment because next up, you got Finn Balor taking on Edge in an I Quit match where there are no pinfalls, no countouts, no tap-outs, no DQs. Yes, the only way to win this match is to make your opponent say the words, I quit. One thing that made me laugh is the first time that the ref brought the mic to Edge as he was in the figure four, he yelled, "Get that the hell out of my face," and then reversed that figure four onto Balor. Now, another part in this match that I found funny was when Finn was bouncing Edge's head off the announce table, this fan kept yelling, "You still suck," to Finn Balor every single time. You gotta love pro wrestling. All this did, however, was piss my guy Edge off as he picked Finn up, slammed him through the barricade, dragged that sumbitch into the WWE universe, and opened a can of whoop ass on that man. And you know Edge was out for blood once he pulled out that hockey stick on him. After getting sent face first into a slab of concrete, Finn Balor smartly buys himself some time as he sent Edge and his testicular fortitude right into the railing. As they both made their way back into the ring, Finn pulls out a steel chair, but that wasn't enough as the resilient Edge fought back and sent Finn face first into that same chair that he introduced before Edge picked it up and went to work with it. Edge then applied that educator, and just when you thought Finn was going to say, "I quit," out comes the other three members of the Judgment Day. Edge, being the savvy vet that he is, responded quickly as he speared Finn off of the apron into both Damian and Dom before dragging Finn back into the ring. Just as Edge was setting up for his spear, he forgot about Rhea Ripley, who popped up and actually handcuffed him to the ring. With all three members of the Judgment Day back to their feet, Edge tried to fight them off, but with him being one-handed and outnumbered, Edge takes a beat down before Finn pulled out the kendo stick and just started lashing out on the Hall of Fame. But then, the father of the year, Rey Mysterio, runs out to even the odds by laying waste to both Priest and Balor before his own son blindsided him and just started beating the hell Dominic out of his own father. As Michael Cole said, "He's your father, for God's sake." Just as Finn was getting back up with a kendo stick, out comes the wife of Edge, Beth Phoenix. She takes that stick from Finn and runs the Judgment Day off before finding herself face to face with Rhea Ripley, and holy shit, I am here for this, my guy. These ladies started throwing down. The Glamazon gets the upper hand on Rhea Ripley. She not only spears her, but in the process, she took the keys to the handcuffs, freeing her husband Edge. He came out of those cuffs like he was shot out of a cannon. He speared Damian Priest. He turned his attention to Balor. He spears him not once, not twice, but 3 times. He goes to set up for the concerto, but he forgot about Rhea Ripley, who came in again, this time with brass knuckles as she laid out Beth Phoenix, leading to multiple coup de grace hit from Finn onto Edge. Edge, being the dog that he is, still wouldn't quit, but then the Judgment Day held him hostage, and as Rhea went to set the lifeless Beth Phoenix up for the concerto, Edge had no choice but to say those 2 words. He said, "I quit." He thought he was saving his wife. He gave Finn the victory. However, those bastards still hit the concerto onto Beth before walking off with their victory. Man, that was a lot. I'm going to give that a B+. Now, some people are saying that it went too long and they spent too much time in submission holds. However, outside of that, you can't tell me that you weren't glued to your TV screen. Plus, that segment between Beth Phoenix and Rhea Ripley deserves an A+ on its own. I don't know if I can do that, but I'm doing it. We then go backstage where you got The Miz and Gritty's trying to talk to him yet again. This time, the guy is just trying to give Miz a shirt. The Miz thanked him by beating the poor guy down. As he did that, he didn't notice that Dexter Lumis wasn't in his suit because he appeared behind him, choked The Miz out, and then he helped Gritty up, who then returned the favor by punching The Miz in the ribs on his birthday. Ha! Happy birthday, Mike. We move on. We got Seth Rollins. We got Matt Riddle. This rivalry has been so personal and so violent that the only way to handle this one is in the fight pit, and there's only one guy who's man enough to referee and hold these 2 in check, and that's none other than the UFC heavyweight champion of the world and Oklahoma State's own Daniel Cormier. Hey, shout out to my Cowboys for being 5-0, baby. Fun fact about Matt Riddle is that he holds 2 victories over John Jones back in his high school days. But that's enough talk, because it's time for the main event. It's Rollins, it's Riddle, it's the fight pit. In the pit, there are no rules, no ropes, no pinfalls. You only win by tap out or knockout for the 10 count. You are inside of a 20-foot cage, which contains a ledge about 13 feet up on all 4 sides. As Riddle was laying it on Rollins in the early going, he got a little too carried away as he accidentally struck Cormier in the process. As those 2 were arguing, Rollins blindsided Riddle and went as far as to sticking his thumb in his eye. What is it with Seth Rollins and eyeballs? Anyways, Rollins goes on to suplex Riddle into the steel cage before climbing about 8 feet up that sumbitch and hit a frog splash down on Riddle. And then business starts picking up. Out of nowhere, Riddle hits the RKO. Seth enters with the stomp. After a delayed count from Cormier, Riddle beats it. Rollins climbs to the ledge. Riddle follows. 13 feet above the ring, Rollins hits a pedigree on the ledge. Riddle pops up, enters with a second RKO, but the count out can only happen down in the ring. Rollins ended up rolling off the ledge back into the ring from that RKO. Riddle takes notice, and by God, from 13 feet above the pit, Riddle hits the floating bro and lands it. Both guys barely beat the 10 count. Riddle hits the triangle choke, so Seth starts going crazy, slamming Riddle all over the cage, and then powerbombing him again and again. But it wasn't enough, as Riddle held on, leading to Seth tapping out to Riddle in the fight pit. The match ends with Riddle walking off victorious, and just as the Extreme Rules logo pops up, and you thought it was over, and we weren't going to get the payoff from the white rabbit we kept seeing, the lights go out, and then you hear the famous words, "He's got the whole world." And the rumors are true. By God, he's back! He's back! It's me, Morty. It's Extreme Rules Rick. Swerve of the night, though, it wasn't Extreme Rules Rick. We get the lights flashing on and off. First we see Huskus the pig, then it's Mercy the rambling rabbit, Sister Abigail, and when the lights flash a 5th time, you see what looks like the Fiend ringside. Then a giant mysterious door appears on stage, and when it opens, the lights go out, and the only thing you see is that lantern. We see a masked man holding it, and he unmasks himself, revealing as none other than the GOAT, the myth, the legend, BRAY. WYATT, no pun intended when I say oh my Lanta. He walks out to an astounding roar of holy shit from the Philadelphia crowd, and rightfully so. We then have the lights go back out, ending the show, and I tell you what, that's getting an A+. Not only was this match a banger, but we got the best return of the year, and that is saying something. We got Bray Wyatt back in the WWE under Triple H. If you ain't excited about that, go check your pulse, because I don't think you're breathing or your blood is pumping, my guys. And now that we have all of the grades in, let's take a look at the report card. After tallying everything up, we came out with a final letter grade of, for the first time ever, an A-, a 90%. Yeah, go write your mom home about that, because it's never happened on the report card. So all my 12 followers, I know y'all are going to be crazy about that. Well, I do appreciate everybody tuning in. What a crazy pay-per-view, and let's all take a moment and thank God that Bray Wyatt is back in a wrestling ring. So, with all that being said, I hope everybody stays safe and have a great day.